Okay guys, today we're going to go into our first video lesson in the other images option. And to do this, as we get started, I'm actually going to right click and open a new tab so that it's easier to follow along. And you'll notice that right now, during the original setup phase, there are no banners or any other such advertisements at all. This will change in time as we start adding our other programs in here. But for now, I need you to focus on this button right here that just simply says Launch Wizard Now. Okay, as you can see here, this brings up four options for you to choose from. You have a headline creator, a buy now creator, a Beltra button creator, and a guarantee creator. Now we will go into each one of these in separate videos and giving you some details on how to use them. But first we're going to start with the headline creator. Now this is actually really convenient because of the fact that what we're doing here is creating a new headline for our website. I'm going to expand that into a full-size window so you can see it better. I'm going to scroll down a little so that your focus point is completely on the tool that we're using. The first thing I want you to see is that everything that we're doing here is edited right in your web browser. All of the text, you see me, see I can even go backwards, you see me working with is done 100% via web browser. I can interchange the top up here. Check out my new subheadline. Or down here, add in your own call to action. Guys, this is no harder to use than any other text document you've worked with. In fact, it's probably easier than a lot of the ones I've seen out there. And in some ways, even easier than Microsoft Word. Not that I'm looking for a lawsuit or anything, but I do know that some of our past students have had trouble with various products. So I'm just using that as an example. Now to take this to the next step, I'm actually going to show you a headline that we might create for our own website. So let's minimize this for a second and go back to the 10-Minute Squeeze Pages website. I want you to see that we could actually copy something, just text, and then bring up our generator and put that same text right there. The squeeze page is the first thing you should set up for any promotion. Let's get rid of the words any promotion and just make that a two-line situation. There we go. For our demonstration purposes, we're going to simply say the squeeze page is the first thing you should set up. All of the experts agree the money is in the list. So I can copy from a website and put it right in here. But what about a text document? I've prepared a simple little one-line call to action. Watch the video below to get started on your next squeeze page today. Copy, paste. As you can see, it works wonderfully. What about this up here? Maybe I want it, maybe I don't. In this case, I don't even want it, so I'm just going to hit the backspace or the delete button, and it's gone. Now let's come down to the options that you see below. Let's start with the top one, which is no doodles. That's the default. Then you have highlight. You'll notice right here it says get started on your. There's a very small highlight. Maybe I want to highlight the word new squeeze page. But if we go down here, what if we don't want that particular highlight? Maybe we want it a little bigger. Watch the video below to get started. Maybe that's what we want to put emphasis on. Maybe we want it to be smaller, but we want it to stand out more. Or maybe we want it to be bigger and stand out more. Like right here, all of the experts agree. As you can see, there are four different options. And you can move this around any way you want to. Let's say I want it this way. Watch the video below to get started. Now let's say I want to add more effects. Quick underline. I could put that right here. That's one option. Or we can use the little turning arrows and see what else is available. Second, third, fourth. 4 options there as well. For now, let's say we want to keep that here. And then we want to add a circle to something. In this case, let's say it's right here. All the experts agree. Let's test them out. There's a second circle, a third circle, a fourth circle, a square. Now we can't adjust the size, but what we can do is pick the one we think works best. Next we come down to drawn arrows. All the experts agree the money is in the list. Let's try more arrows. Stick with that one for now. Finally, we come down to what they call extra doodles. Now these are meant to highlight something. Little star here, check mark, little star, free, money. I think I'm going to go with the money symbol. Just for now. Finally, we come over to the color text effects. You'll notice that the main headline, which is up here, I called this the subheadline earlier. This is the main headline. Let's say I want to make it blue or black or light blue. You'll notice all I'm doing is hovering over light red, light green, purple. I can make this any color I want. Now, traditionally, I'm going to say, I believe it's done in either blue or black. So let's start out with this dark blue color right here. Or if we want, we can even add a color of our own choice. And click here. We can pull down here so that we got our dark blue. And up here you'll see the word OK and cancel. Just click OK. Now you've got the dark blue up there. Your main copy is this right here. So again, we could go green, red, black. We could make this any color we want. Any color. Let's go back to green. I think we're going to actually stick with that. Let's see what we've got over here. No, I don't like that. So I'm going to click the cancel button. And I'm going to just go with this nice money green color. Now this right here, they're calling the PS copy. Forgive me, I have to turn off my doodles. To turn off your doodles, by the way, all you have to do is uncheck the doodle in question. I'm going to turn those off for right now. That way I can actually highlight all of my copy and show you that this is the PS copy. In this case, because I'm using it as a call to action, I'm simply going to make that red. And up here, I'm going to remove this. Now I know this isn't traditional green and red. Quite often you'll see blue and red or black and red. But I think we're going to give this a try. Let's see if we can't add a doodle or two. Because our next color option down here is to actually go and choose the color of our doodle. So let's start with a highlight. And I'm going to stick with this one right here. To just simply get started on your next squeeze page. But I'm actually going to go with a brighter color of yellow. Maybe not quite that bright. Let's go with more colors. dull that down just a little bit. I wanted that a little bit brighter than it was when we started, but not quite as bright as the yellow that we had in our initial change. So we're going to click OK. And then let's say extra doodles. We could actually use this here. Now you'll notice that we're not actually changing colors as we add the new doodle. We only change color after adding the new doodle by coming down here and doing something like this. That's done one at a time, so be careful as you're using this tool to only add one doodle at a time. My recommendation is to start by creating the text in your headline, the text in your main copy, the text in your PS copy, choosing your colors, and then going into working with the doodles. At this point in time, I actually don't want to use that doodle, so again, I'm going to uncheck it. And before we go, I'm going to actually show you the different styles for the headlines. You'll notice that there are different styles. You got the original style that we started with, what they're calling Style 3. Now you can break through the crappy quality of the average PLR membership. It's very bold, bigger, thinner. Now this I actually kind of like. We may work with that. And then more of a black letter, it seems. I think we're going to start with this one. We're going to go back. We're going to copy. The squeeze page is the first thing you should set up for any promotion. All of the experts agree the money is in the list. And to be honest with you, I think I like this. I really do. I think I'm actually going to move my doodle up a little bit right here to emphasize where it says all of the experts agree. I am going to, however, get rid of this. I've already got my colors selected. Let's come down here, select this text. Ouch. Well, apparently this text is too large for me to do this. So we are going to have to move this around a little bit. I think we're going to alter our line. Watch below to get started on your new squeeze page today. There we go. We just took out the word video. Okay, now let's come back over here. Let's get rid of this top piece here. And we're done. Now that you have everything the way that you want it to look, especially if it's your first time, I recommend that you go through and just read the headline explanations here. We also have tips you'll notice right here. And we have copy tips at the bottom that are randomly generated through the system to give new ideas. Once you've done all this and you've reached the point where you're happy, whether it's your first time or the 100th time, all you have to do is click right here where it says Save Graphic as JPG. Okay, once we've reached this point, the next thing to do is to actually get this image from the web browser onto your computer. And to do this, I recommend that you right-click and copy image. Copying the image URL will only bring you this. Because the URL is secure, it's not going to work. Saving image as will only save you an HTML document. Open image in new tab. Again, inspect element if you want to. In fact, I recommend it. Inspect your element. Come down here to the metrics, because I really do want to know the exact size of that image when I create something new so that I can start editing from that point forward. In this case, if you're using Chrome, this is a lot easier, but you'll notice that it's 664 by 251. I'm going to right click and copy image. So all I'm doing is copying the image. And then I'm going to open up GIMP in our next video, and we're going to show you how to edit an image in GIMP so that you can quickly and easily have your own headline. But before doing that, I recommend that you go through and use the tool. Experiment with things a little bit. Create a little bit of sales copy for your own headline, and remember that the headline is probably the single most important thing on your sales page. It is more important than your video. It is more important than your images. It is more important than the color of your website or anything else, because it's the first thing that's going to fully load. It's the first thing that people are going to see. And if you send the wrong message, they're going to leave. The average web visitor decides within 3 to 5 seconds if they're going to stay or if they're going to go. Keep that in mind as you work with your headline, and I'll see you in the next video.